Okay, so this is gonna be my video about getting out of bronze with no combat score. Sorry for the clickbait, but yes, there will be some combat score, just as little as I could possibly get by on. Alright, so for those of you that don't know me, I am definitely not any sort of pro player, but I have played since I think season 4 or 5. I've clocked over 1,000 hours in Steam and about 800 in game. Played quite competitively. I managed to reach Ruby this season, and I hope to hold on to it by the end of the season. So I'm not the best, but I do a few things right, it seems, and I'm just trying to pass on my knowledge. I'll do my absolute best to not use my mechanical skill to just absolutely shit on people. It wouldn't feel fair, and it was hard doing this just out of being more experienced than most of the players. It felt like I was kind of stopping people sometimes. But I do my best not to absolutely just wreck people, and I try to show some alternative ways or ways of thinking to get out of bronze and perhaps other elos as well. And just a different approach on how to play the game and how you can improve and see more success in your games. This video came from me seeing a lot of people struggling with ranked, especially lower elos, when you can't really rely on your teammates. Perhaps you don't have the comms, you don't have the team compositions to have effective play as you would wish, or perhaps like you've seen in some higher elo plays. I don't recommend playing exactly like this, but hopefully this opens up to new ways of playing the game and you see that combat score alone is not what wins games. There are more effective ways of playing, like for instance if I try to stick with my teammates and help them when they engage people more often, that would be a lot better. But yeah, I decided not to do that in this video because I wanted to zero out the fact of having good mechanical skill in fights in an attempt to make this more fair. A few tips I would give people, like the main things to focus on, especially on low elo, is not be toxic, obviously. Being toxic or mad or yelling at people doesn't help anybody. You are getting frustrated and playing worse as a consequence of that. Also, the people you are getting mad at are getting stressed, they're taking bad decisions, and they're not going to perform. So just don't do that. Don't backseat drive people. I mean, for sure, help people out with tips and stuff. But if you tell somebody oh, you just go for this, do this, you can absolutely not be in their full position and see how stressed they are and what kind of decision-making process they're doing. So just don't do that. Leave people to play the game. They tend to do as good as they can. They're not going to do any better for you screaming on them. So just sure, give them tips if they're open for it, but just don't backseat drive. And finally, be kind, have fun, just play the game. If you don't have fun, you're not gonna get better at all. And just try to learn. If you wanna be serious about getting better at the game, reaching higher elos, you gotta learn. Either by just doing or watching better people play. You can learn a lot from just observational learning. But in general, I try to just stay alive. It's very important to just play my life, not die. Don't take fights you don't have to. Obviously, you can't always do this, and I've had a lot of fails with this playstyle and loadout as well. But this is just to give you some general ideas and tips how you could play. The loadouts in this video will be very focused on objectives like stalling, utility. You will see my light loadout is just pretty much all about that. I could have brought a gas grenade or something as well, but I decided that the gateway would be too useful not to have. As I said, don't copy paste me. Don't do exactly what I do here. It's really not the most effective, and you have to be very good at kiting and decision making and just in general moving around to have success with doing almost no combat score. So I wouldn't recommend this, but please do bring ideas from this concept in this playstyle and incorporate into your regular playstyle. On medium, I decided to go back to like a season 7-ish kind of standard loadout with a D-mat, obviously for stall and like moving around more effectively. Jump pad because it's a must-have, also good for stalling. And gas mines, they're good for stalling, and that's what we're all about in this video. Like getting that objective, holding it, trying to delay enemy team getting the cash out. Obviously the defibs to help my team out. I probably should have played a little bit more around my team with this medium build, since I'm not really getting use of the DMAT if my team is just dead somewhere, or my defib, sorry.
A surprise. Gas mine set.
This heavy loadout was very fun. It takes a lot of getting used to, and I'm not used to the KS-23, but it has a lot of potential. If you've ever watched Apo on YouTube, he's crazy with the KS, and he's a crazy player in general. So I would highly recommend watching him. He's got like tons of very informative and very good videos on different classes and play styles and ranked in general. I would highly recommend that. So I go with the KS, I go with the winch. You can also play like you could play any loadout you want, but like what's good for my objective in this video, it's either winch or goo gun. Barricade for some more survivability. It could be switched out for dome. I use gravity vortex, the gravity cube, and I do a little trick where I pull the cash out up with it, and then I shoot the cube if they're stealing, so it kind of messes up their stealing. Yeah, C4 for drops. I can also drop with the KS-23.
C4 armed. C4 planted. Preparing explosives. Cash out A. Explosives are set. Gather up, team. Stick together. Detected. Watch your step.
Thank you for watching this video. Hopefully it helped you out in some way. Maybe you learned a thing or two. I had a blast doing this challenge. It was very challenging but very fun. Hit me up if you want to see some more content. Please leave a like, maybe a subscribe. Thanks a lot.